very true that in this world, most people really don't care about you until you're gone. And in the world of hip-hop, and especially R&B, shit, you lucky to get people to rally around you in death. Singer B. Smyth understood this notion all too well, and when Lexi Alliger passed away after a life of strife and endless unfortunate events, he would take to her Instagram page, and amidst all of the tributes from newfound fans, he would write, "I hate that they're all so late. I hate that these people couldn't understand while you were still here. We knew you was a star before this day." Sadly, there are so many talented people that spend their lives getting their dreams out, and before they have a chance to truly shine, their flames will be diminished. And unfortunately, the life and career of B. Smyth, who is extremely gifted and had all of the workings to be a mega star, would take a similar trajectory. Born Brandon Smyth and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the early 90s, he had developed a passion for singing and discovered his talents early on, but he wasn't in no children's choir or front and center at family gatherings. Nah, B was shy with it and wouldn't dare sing in front of nobody, and so for the longest time no one knew he could sing, until his mom heard him singing in the shower one day, and enamored with his vocal ability, she would encourage him to sing more, but he was adamant that he didn't want to sing in front of others. And so she would tell him, "Hey, I'm not gonna force it on you, but I know you're gonna come back to it, and when you do, I'll be behind you 100%. And once in high school, he had built up enough courage to sing in front of others, but still not be seen in front of others.
I didn't really want people to like hear me sing or like people to watch me sing, so like I didn't really have confidence. So I used to have people like turn around for me to sing for them. I used to literally like have my whole classroom like, y'all want me to sing, y'all niggas gonna have to get up and turn around. So that's how I started.
After doing chorus and winning a couple talent shows in high school, he figured he would take music more seriously, but with no money for studio sessions, he would use YouTube as an avenue to get his name out there and get his talents heard. He would do covers of popular songs from artists like Michael Jackson, Trey Songz, and Usher. His peers from school would catch his videos online, give him props, and encourage him to keep going. But it would be his cover of Miguel's Sure Thing that would be his breakout moment and drew in tens of thousands of views.
Even when it's down to the wire, babe. Even when it do or die, we can do it, baby, simple and plain. Cause this love is a sure thing. Swag, 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 swag.
The days of swag. Everything was swag this, swag that. But yo, World Star would catch wind of his singing talents and would feature the video on their Male Singing Talent of the Week, which exposed his platform to a huge audience, and his popularity shot up overnight, with his video reaching over 1 million views. From there, he started getting a ton of requests from his ever-growing fan base to cover different songs, and that became his thing. Now, with him being from Florida, he was real big on highlighting people from his state, and would do several spoken word tributes to Trayvon Martin on the channel as well. He also perfected his craft at dancing, and would showcase a bit of those skills on his channel. His videos would lead him to being picked up by EP Entertainment and performing at various high-profile talent shows, where his style drew comparisons to artists like Chris Brown, Usher, and Jason Derulo. And in 2012, as his popularity continued to grow, many record labels would eventually come calling, and he would get the opportunity to showcase for each and every one of them. Atlantic Records, Sony Records, and Columbia Records were among the labels that wanted him, but he would ultimately sign with Motown, which was under Def Jam Recordings at this time, as they were really big on artist development and making sure that he'd have a long career in the industry, whereas the other labels' plans seemed to be more about putting him out there and seeing what would happen. He released his debut single, Let Go, featuring 2 Chainz on December 11th, 2012, with the video being released the same day, showcasing his singing and dancing abilities, and quickly became a favorite, racking up millions of views within a matter of weeks. He killed it, and it kinda put me in the mind of Mario. The song peaked at number 41 on the Hot R&B Songs list, and number 20 on the bubbling under Hot 100 Singles list. He would go on a multitude of tours, opening up for artists like Trey Songz and Miguel, and would even appear on 106 & Park to promote and perform his new single. With all of the buzz and fanfare, he still remained humble and would return to his community to do a toy drive for 99 Jams.
guys, and I can't wait. I'm super excited for what's in store for me for 2013. I want to say thank you guys for all the support. When the video debuted on 106 & Park as a new joint, it made the countdown in like 3 days. So that's pretty big considering that I'm a new artist, and you know, people don't really know me. You know, I'm not like that yet. So once again, I want to say thank you guys for the support, and I love you guys. Shout out to Team B Smith, B Smith Nation, and holla at your boy. Hey.
Now, he had many songs to pick as his next single, but unsure of which single, Motown decided to do something special, and he would release his first project called The Florida Files on October 15th, 2013, which was a unique story consisting of 6 different singles with music videos, each shot in a different city in Florida, and they all follow the tale of Brandon pursuing a love interest, kinda similar to what other R&B singers have done in the past, like Neo for his singles on the Libra Scale album in 2010, and what Usher did for his music videos on the 2001 album, 8701. This gave fans an in-depth look into B. Smith's range of different creative styles within the music. His lead single, Win Win, was produced by Mike Will Made It and featured Future, which generated him a lot of buzz. But it was songs like Vibe, which has a 90s throwback on the hook, and the song Letter that he co-wrote that would showcase his songwriting talents and vulnerability in the subject matter, as most guys didn't write letters anymore by 2013. So it was something refreshing. But he would also release my ultimate favorite song of his, called Getting That. And I love everything about this song, y'all, from the vocals to the production to the instrumental, which kind of put me in the mind of a mid-2000s production in songs like Mario's Let Me Love You and Bobby Valentino's Slow Down. The song's music video would be in heavy rotation on BET's 106 & Park Countdown, and B. Smith would encourage fans to use the app to vote for his videos. I mean, ultimately it was a genius marketing strategy, as people wanted to get a good feel for him as an artist, and even though he had an album on the way, this gave viewers an array of videos to binge in the meantime. Now, even though he had newfound fame, Brandon understood that he was black first, and would soon be reminded of that through a series of unfortunate events. According to an article from the Singer's Room, he and a friend were leaving a recording studio in Miami and decided to take a shortcut through a building when they would be stopped by security guards who asked for ID. Now, Brandon claimed that the guards didn't believe that the pair belonged in the area, likely because they were black, but the two insisted that they had permission from the studio owner to be there, and even showed the guards an email providing proof. Still, they called the popo on them and accused them of trespassing. The situation quickly escalated as Brandon protested his innocence and tried to explain himself, but ultimately ended up getting handcuffed and put into a cop car while the bystanders watched in shock. Now, he said that they were treated unfairly and aggressively despite not doing anything wrong, and would demand justice by saying, "We need to make sure we hold those accountable who abuse their power and work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all." Now, that was a very touching story indeed, yet I can't find any other articles about this story anywhere on the net. Instead, the following story would be the one to make headlines, as on December 22nd, 2013, he would be pulled over into a gas station for allegedly tailgating, but he felt the real reason why they pulled him over was because he was black with a nice ride. And apparently they had been following him for a minute, as many of them are trained to be weary of such sightings. So when they handed him the traffic citation, he refused to accept it, and things would get pretty heated between him and the officers, one of whom had made a few racially insensitive remarks, and Brandon would clap back saying in so many words, "It's all good, I'm a star, and I'll be banging your wife before too long." And yo, when I tell you them boys did not like that, they did not, and neither did the news outlets when they posted this story. Outlets like TMZ, BET, and the Boombox have reported that Brandon had also refused to leave the gas station where he was stopped, and that the cops took him in for trespassing. These outlets, along with Russell Simmons' Facebook page, would headline his infamous clapback, but not the provocation that led to it, which was not a good look on Brandon to the general public, the vast majority of which had no clue who he was or about any of his songs. Talk about a terrible introduction. But hoping to capitalize off the newfound infamy and answer the question, just who is B. Smith, Motown would push his new song Twerkaholic to the forefront and give it a music video. The song would quickly become a twerk anthem and samples Ready for the World's Love You Down. It remains his most streamed solo song with over 14 million streams on Spotify.
I'll be a designated driver, girl. I wanna take you home, straight to the bed and skip the pillow talk. I know that I deserve you. Baby, show me what that's worth to. Baby, show me what that's worth to. Show me how you work it too. Oh.
Though the song didn't see any chart success, it had essentially become the song B. Smyth was known for, and thus the label got what they wanted out of the situation, and that was that. Now around this time, it was decided that Motown would split from Def Jam Recordings and become a standalone label, and the label made several changes, with many different executives being moved around. When this happens, and new upper management comes in not knowing the artists present on the label, they're going to put the artists that they already have in mind front and center. And it's unclear if B. Smith's recent run-ins with law enforcement had besmirched his image in a way that made him appear to be too much of a liability, or if the label simply just wanted to focus their priorities on other artists. But either way, over the following year, they wouldn't release any more of his music, and his long-awaited debut album would be shelved indefinitely.
When I got signed, like I'm the youngest. So I went from being the youngest to, pretty much the oldest. I'm taking care of everybody. I'm taking care of the bills. Mama, I'm taking care of mama. So to go from that and to just know that I have all those people depending on me, it was just really
Real
a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Shoulders.
To go from, me being a kid, 17, 18, even 19, to go through that. Say, man, I'm not finna go by the book no more. Like, cause I was really just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody else.
Yeah, like I was just about to go back to what I know. I know that I was dope. I feel like, y'all can't tell me I'm not.
Right.
So I'm just gonna go back to what I know.
Frustrated with the runaround, he felt like wilding out and leaking all of his unheard music online. But a fan from the UK would audition for The Voice over there using one of B. Smith's songs, Letter, and would hit B. Smith up on Snap and told him that everyone on the show inquired about who the original artist was behind the track, as it was beautiful, and that was all the motivation that B needed to go back to the drawing board and aspire higher. He would kick Motown to the curb and sign with By Storm Entertainment and RCA Records in 2015, and would release the songs Right or Wrong and the single Creep featuring Young Thug, both of which are bops. But this time around, his music was much more explicit, raunchy, and unapologetic compared to his previous songs, with lyrics like the ones shown on the screen just now. He wasn't playing around. But the thing about RCA that I've noticed is that since the 2010s, they are more singles based, and depending on how well your singles do will determine whether or not you get to put out an album. And so over the next 2 years, he would release singles like Love Killer, Gold Rappers featuring Rick Ross, and Might Cuff You, which also went viral. But none of the songs would chart, as B. Smith fell into the ever so popular category of being one of thousands of talented male R&B singers whose work reminds everyone of Chris Brown or Trey Songz, but will never break into mainstream success for whatever reason. And many of Brandon's fans would speculate as to whether or not him being dark-skinned had anything to do with it. And while the subject will always be up for debate, I do want to point out that his biggest collaboration just so happened to be with light-skinned Keisha in 2018 with the song Ride Good, which racked up 32 million views on YouTube and peaked at number 14 on the Hot R&B Songs chart. To date, it is the most streamed song with him on it. In 2019, his song Too Many Reasons would be the ultimate breakup song from the male perspective. And when I tell y'all he was letting them exes have it with those lyrics, yo.
F it, I hate you. This time I mean it. And the last time you hit me that text, guess what?
It got deleted.
It got deleted. Why do I hate you? It's too many reasons. If I said everything you did wrong, what would happen, B. Smith?
This song would play all night long.
All night long. Do y'all
baby.
understand? So my question, who hurt you, friend? Who hurt you, B. Smith?
Well,
This is the first acceptable bitter man song.
right. And you know what I mean, bro? So many dudes was like, thank you, bro. Thank you for even making this song for me, bro. Like, this is my life right now.
Women have so many songs like this.
Yeah. Yeah, they
for
do.
them.
Yeah, they do.
But we didn't have anything like this.
Man, they got movies, they got commercials, they got, you know what I'm saying? They got a whole blueprint of how to get over us.
While he was on the V103.3 station, he would also promote another song called Touch You.
You brought me something new, didn't you?
Yeah, we cooking with some more grease, you know what I'm saying?
Introduce it. Let's do it.
What's happening, Atlanta? This is my new joint. It's your boy B Smith, and this record is called Touch You.
Uh-oh. V103. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Hey.
V103.
Touch it, touch it. It's a club policy.
Hey.
Ooh yeah.
Hey.
Ooh yeah.
When is the video to that?
We in the work. We literally just recorded that like a couple days ago. So
Really?
like, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
new.
Yeah, it's fire.
New.
Now, this song was supposed to premiere sometime the following month in October of 2019, but for reasons unknown, it would never again see the light of day, and would go on to be rewritten, recorded, and released by R&B duo Division 3 years later for the Working on My Karma album, and the song would go on to be a smash hit thanks in part to the TikTok dance trends at the time. So Brandon missed out big time on this record. And by 2020, you could tell that he was over the industry's rules and different labels determining which works of his art would see the light of day. Ultimately, he would part ways with RCA, again without releasing a full body of work. Although at one point he did drop a mixtape called 3, which featured Carrie Hilson. But the mixtape would be taken down shortly after it was put up, man. What the hell, man? But that song with Carrie Hilson is still available on YouTube if y'all want to listen to it.
Don't sign no record deals. If I could give any advice to my younger self, I would tell him not to sign any record deals.
He went independent and founded Bloom the Label, where he would release his debut album, It's Yours for the Summer, and also had his older brother, rapper One Trek, signed to the label. And the two of them would release their different projects without having to deal with all the semantics of big time labels. And that's what I like to see, man. You being in charge of your own creations. Doing what you love, keeping your masters, and getting paid your way. Sure, you might not be at extreme levels of prominence just yet, but hell, even those who are there won't be there forever. So just enjoy the ride because it's about the journey anyways. I mean, truthfully speaking, it doesn't profit you at all to sign any record deals in the present day. But I'ma shut up though. Wrapping up 2021 and throughout much of 2022, B Smith found his own lane on TikTok, creating several dance crazes to some of his new releases, and one song in particular was a mix of Hurricane Chris's Ay Baby and Tony's Anniversary, and that song grew popular, and B Smith would hop on a remix with a few other singers and rappers. Their hit went viral as well, and in October of 2022, he would release Twerkaholic Part 2 for the fans who were longtime lovers of the original on some throwback vibes. And as anticipated, it started a dance trend on TikTok, with many fans excited for a possible music video to accompany the new mix. But instead, on November 17th, 2022, Brandon's brother would appear on his social media.
My name is Denzel, older brother to B Smith. I'm making this video today because I have some sad news. Today my brother passed away, earlier this morning to be exact. He passed away and with a fight that he was having with a lung condition. It's very tough for me to make this video because I thought I never would have to make something like this. I never dreamed of making a video like this, so I ask that you guys bear with me if I may be coming off like I'm stuttering or slow with my words. But I'm just making this video for the behalf of my family, and we ask right now at this particular moment that you guys respect our wishes of privacy, and that we accept all the love and condolences on his behalf. Everything is it's a tough time right now. For me, for my family, and we're just trying to do our best to cope in this situation. So I'm making this video to post on his page to give his fans some insight, give the B Smyth Nation some insight of how everything's been going for the past few months. And in a nutshell, I just want to say that for me being with him most of the time, he was talking about, how much he loved his fans and how much his fans loved him. So he would always want to do his best to put out the best content for you guys, and even showing off his creativity, whether that been in music or fashion or drawings that he partaked in. So he wanted me to make this video to let you guys know that he appreciated everything that you guys did for him, all the love and support. Even off the new song that's been going trending right now, Twerkaholic 2, all those new TikToks and Instagram reels made him really, really happy, and he was able to have a smoother process. It gave all the love and light that you guys were sending him and showing him on social media. He really felt it and sunk into it. So yeah, we will be posting and keeping you guys in the loop with funeral arrangements and services and things of that sort. Maybe we'll do like a live stream so you guys can, for the fans that's not in Florida or in the States, you know what I'm saying, just so you guys can have a live visual and pay your last respects and condolences to him as he goes on his next journey. But yeah, like I said, this is real nerve-wracking right now, and I thought I would never have to do this, but I have to be strong for myself and my family and bring you guys this news. So on that note, peace and love. I'm signing off on that.
And just like that, it was over. Brandon had died from respiratory failure after a long battle with pulmonary fibrosis, a lung disease that occurs when the lung tissue becomes damaged and scarred. This thickened, stiff tissue makes it more difficult for your lungs to work properly as time goes on. As pulmonary fibrosis worsens, you become progressively more short of breath. The lung damage caused by pulmonary fibrosis cannot be repaired, and in some situations, people are placed on a mechanical ventilator. And in other situations, people might actually receive a lung transplant. Now the fans were floored as no one knew he was struggling with the disease, or for how long. But looking back on his recent photos, you could tell he wasn't well, especially when compared to how he looked years back. Now, according to his brother, Brandon had released the single Twerkaholic Part 2 while in the ICU, and he was excited to see the dance challenges online by the fans that adored him. It really brought a big smile to his face and gave him comfort in his last days. Tributes would pour in from industry peers like rappers Mad Skills and Light Skin Keisha, in addition to tributes by friends and family. Hell, I remember when I found out, I literally threw my phone down because I knew that he would never receive the recognition that he so much deserved for all of his talents. Now, the headlines all read, B Smyth dead at 28. Everyone was still in shock over the death of rapper Takeoff earlier that month, who was also 28. And I'm not gonna lie, with me being 28 years old now and having covered the deaths of other 28-year-olds like Dino, Doug from Rock the Boat, and even the recent death of Ray Lewis III, who was also 28, I was definitely feeling some type of way. But while making this video, I discovered that they got his birth dates wrong and that he was actually 30 years of age. Now, throughout his career, it was understood that he was born on March 12, 1994. Hell, even t-shirts that was made at his memorial service a week later would reflect the 1994 date as his birthday. But his mother confirmed that he was indeed actually born in 1992. Also, many fans weren't aware that he had a son either, as again, Brandon was private about many aspects of his life, and rightfully so. I mean, people are crazy out here. His memorial service would be streamed on his Vivo account and is available for those who still want to watch. And his mother had announced that Brandon was planning on releasing his first record label brand jacket to his fans before 2022 ended, and posted and released his personally designed clothing to order on his official website. She encouraged fans who wanted to continue to support his legacy to buy them, and they were sold out fairly quickly. And lastly, His unreleased music video for his 2021 single called F It Up will be released on his birthday in March of this year. And it is very bittersweet, as though fans were forever grateful to see new images of B. Smyth, you can tell by his appearance that he was sickly. And it's very eerie seeing him glorify smoking in the visual, knowing his conditions at the time of his demise. But as we've seen often in the Unfortunate Demise series, that art often imitates life. His brother One Trek still holds down Bloom the label with a few of his new releases and pays tribute to his younger brother in his recent music video. But rest in peace, man, to the homie B. Smyth. Your music and talents will forever live on through your many creations, and your mother, brother, and son will continue to carry the torch in your honor. This is Justified by Jury. Y'all know how to hit that like. Y'all know how to hit that subscribe. If you want to, do so.